So take off any, no one wears glasses. I'm the only one. Some of you must wear contacts though, right? I'm the only one who can't see? Oh my goodness, that's terrible. So, oh, did you? I see. So adjust your thighs, move the inner thighs down and move the buttocks flesh out to the side. You just let your thighs know they don't have to move forward. That's their job in life, to help us move forward, right? But here you can let them settle down, get balanced on your two buttock bones. And since we have the blocks there, bring the blocks really close and just put your hands onto those blocks. Feels really nice to lift upwards. Yes, put your hands on those blocks. If the blocks feel too wide, you can also use the bolster, because I know some of you are on the bolster. That's it. So move the thighs down and then lift the sides of the trunk upwards. Just look straight forwards and bring your outer shoulders back and reach the crown of the head up. So find some tallness on the sides of the trunk and some broadness at the top of your chest. Bring your hands to your heart center and close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Turn towards yoga. Turn towards healing. Turn towards alignment. Turn towards inner peace. Turn towards caring for yourself more deeply. After your next exhalation, have some deeper inhalations. Allow some energy to flow into your body and your mind. And then have some softer, smoother exhalations. Release yourself, untangle yourself, let loose, let go. Give yourself this space, this time to practice yoga. Soften your face. Relax your jaw. Pacify the eyes. Turn your ears towards the sound of Om. It's always there inside, that vibration of existence, the sound of existence. Bring your head into your heart center and offer yourself encouragement, offer yourself compassion for whatever is happening, whatever is arising in your experience today. BKS Iyengar, we fondly call sometimes Guruji. That's just a phrase that we use for the teacher. Guruji, BKS Iyengar, said, each time you practice, you begin your practice, you're a beginner. Every single time you begin your practice, you're a beginner. So come into that feeling of just working with yourself as you are. And let's join our energies, our voices, our hearts. Let's encourage each other with 3 Oms. Om. Raise your chest upwards, bow your head downwards. Release your hands down to your thighs with your palms up. Raise your head and slowly open your eyes. Okay, and then just switch the cross of your legs. Reach for your belt and make a loop in your belt. And make the loop about as wide as your shoulders. Now, if you have shoulder sensitivity, go wider. Make your belt wider if you have any shoulder sensitivity today. Okay, and then once you have it, you can put your belt on your wrist this way. You can have the tail of the belt over to one side. And then you're just pushing out into that belt with your wrist, like where you might wear a wristwatch or a bracelet. That's it. And then look at your the thumb side of the wrist, and look at the little finger side of the wrist. So can you turn your arms in such a way, the upper arms, that the thumb sides of your wrist starts to move out? So you feel like the thumbs will start to go out, and the little finger side of the wrist starts to get closer together. But see if you can have that movement start at your upper arms, not so much. You could easily just turn the wrists. And then once you have that. Keep your outer upper arms, and you start to raise upwards. That's it. Don't let your head go down. Keep your head reaching upwards, really, the crown of the head. And some of you just might come here. You might come here. That's okay. Others of you can bring your arms all the way up. And then as you push out into that belt, like you're trying to break it, keep wrapping your outer armpits forwards. Look at these straight arms. Straighten the arms. Look up and see, has the thumb side of your wrist gotten closer? So move the thumb side of the wrist out and the pinky finger side of the wrist closer together, and have that movement emanate from your upper arms. And then look forwards again. That's it. And then release. That's it. Good. You can let go of that belt. Okay, now bring your arms out to the sides this way and reach from the top of the chest, top of the upper back, all the way to your fingertips. In that same action, now from here, turn so that your palms turn upwards. So let the movement of the upper arm affect the wrist and the palms. And then again, raise your arms upwards and visualize that you still have that belt, right? Yes, so you're pulling the rib cage up, the back and the side ribs, straighten the arms, and then turn towards your right. That's it. And bring your left hand onto your outer right thigh near to the knee, and bring your right hand. You can take your block and move it behind you. So have the block behind you. Make sure to turn your right fingernails backwards. And then everyone turn and look towards me. Turn, look towards the camera. Don't turn your head. That's it. Turn with your right arm. Turn more with your right arm without turning your head. Don't turn your head. That's it. Turn with your right arm, even more. Turn. And then press your left hand down and hold that right thigh down and turn with the left arm. But don't turn your head. Don't turn your head. Look towards me, Marsha. Look towards me. That's it. Turn your body. Turn your body. Then finally lift your chin and allow your head to slowly turn. The head is the last thing we turn, and then release. Because the head is the easiest to turn, isn't it? So bring your arms out to the sides, shoulder height. And again, let that movement come from your upper arms, and also become aware of your shoulder blades. What happens to your shoulder blades. So turn your palms downwards, notice the shoulder blades. Now from your upper arms, turn your arms and notice your shoulder blades. Some of you might notice they kind of gather in when you turn the arms. Now raise the arms up. Good. Now keep the thighs moving down, lift the back and the side ribs up. Remember the belt, inhale, and now exhale, turn. Turn to the left and bring your left hand down to that block or the floor if you're not sitting on much, right? But then look towards me, there you go. And turn, move your left hand further behind your right buttocks and turn more. Turn your waist, keep looking this way. Yeah, that's it. Now press your right hand down, lift up and turn. Turn your abdomen, turn your ribs. And this is, a lot of times if you look in Ladon Yoga, his head is turning one way and the body is turning the other way. And then lift your chin, and then finally you can let your head turn. And then release. Good. Okay, now switch the cross of your legs. Interlace your fingers in front of your chest. Turn your palms forwards and raise those arms up. Raise the arms, go all the way up. Move those thighs down, straighten those arms. And again, you might be here. Yes, there you go. Now inhale, as you exhale, turn to the right, turn. And again, bring your hands down, bring your hands down. Good, now go ahead and let your head turn. So turn with your right arm, let your head turn, everything turns. Get as much as you can with the turn. Get that right hand way behind your left buttocks, way behind the left buttocks. Make sure that your left fingernails your right fingernails are going backwards. Press your left hand into the right thigh, turn as much as you can. Now, once you've turned, now look back forward, look back, that's it. But keep turning your abdomen, keep turning your ribs, but turn your neck the other way. Look forwards, yeah, that's it. Turn more and release. It's actually really good for your neck. It's really, really good for your neck. Okay, so let's do the other side. So interlace your fingers. Each finger lifts up one finger. Turn your palms forwards and raise those arms up. Move those thighs down. It should feel like a yawn. You know how when you yawn and you just stretch? That's this feeling. Straighten the arms. That's it. Now inhale, exhale, turn towards the left. And bring your left hand down behind your right buttocks and really get a nice turn. So let your head turn, just go, let the head turn, everything turns. Turn your abdomen, turn your ribs, have a bend of both elbows. Left fingernails are going backwards, left shoulder is going away from the neck. Now, once you get that turn to the maximum, or as they say in India, to the maximum. They yell out, maximum, maximum. So maximum turn, now turn your head back, turn your head back. Yes, that's it. Keep turning. Turn your abdomen, but turn your head in the other direction. And then release. Good. Stretch out your legs. And let's take down dog. So have your hands towards the exit. Take your props off of your mat. And take your feet as wide as the mat. If anyone needs blocks under their hands, go ahead and take that downward dog. And just do this downward dog. Once you have your feet wide, have your knees slightly bent. Your knees are slightly bent. So turn your hands out about 45 degrees. Spread your fingers really wide and feel the sticky mat under the palms of your hands and even a little bit more under the index and the thumb knuckle. Keep your knees slightly bent. Knees are slightly bent, heels are slightly up. Knees bent, heels up. Mary, take the longer dog. Sylvia, take the longer dog. And then straighten your arms. And then reach from your shoulder blades back down into your hands and pull your hips away from your shoulders. Pull the hips away from the shoulders and just have a sense of your shoulder blades moving. The top shoulder blades move into the back with your knees slightly bent. You can get maybe a better sense of the shoulder blades. Good. Now lightly come down onto the knees. Pause for a moment. When you're on your hands and your knees, look at where your knees are. They're right under the hips, right? But your hands should be about one hand's distance in front of your shoulders. So some of you could walk your hands further forward. You could, Mary, walk your hands further forward. Yeah, that's one way. Good. Now take your feet again as wide as the sticky mat. Go back up. Have your knees bent again. Spread your fingers. Press those inner hands down. Remember your arms in the belt. So squeeze your outer upper arms in. Are you still rolling your outer armpits down towards the floor or towards your face? Get the top shoulder blade in. Move your hips back. Good. Now look back at your knees. Keep your heels lifted and straighten your legs. Yes, and move your chest back. Move the chest back from the shoulder blades, right? It all comes from the shoulder blades. Heels are up, Maru and Maria. That's it. Heels up, heels up, heels up. All the way up. Draw your legs up like sticks. Yes, up into an apple. Go up. Now move the thighs back and now reach the heels back and down. Have some softer, smoother exhalations and inhalations. Super good. Now come down onto your knees and go into child's pose. Big toes touching, knees apart. Ground your hips. Put something under the head as needed and bring your arms all the way forward. Press those hands down. So they're very similar to downward dog, the arms and the hands, but they're not weight bearing. As you move the hips back, as you move the thighs down, keep your arms straight. Keep reaching from the shoulder blades back into the hands. That's it. Connect with your breath. And just see how your body reacted to those downward dogs and those seated twists. See where your breath is at. Just kind of check in. Elbows are up. Now bring your hands back alongside your head and come up, and we'll do Supta Padangusthasana. So lie down with your heads towards the exit and lie down on your back. Take any support you need for your head and your neck. Take the belt, take the loop out of your belt. Take that loop out of your belt. And have any support you need on that right-hand side, a bolster or a block as needed. And then come into Supta Tadasana. And what you want to do, Tom and Slava, is turn your body around, because at some point we're going to raise the arms up and you won't have enough room. So just have your feet going towards that wall there. And then make sure to have room to lift up your arms. Just take a moment, make sure that you have room to lift up your arms, because at some point we'll do that. So organize yourself in that way. Good. And then keep your left leg in Tadasana and then belt the right foot. Have the belt on the big toe mound and the little toe mound of the right foot. And extend that left leg outwards. Press it down, that left leg. That's it. So this goes down into the floor. That's it. Push the right thigh back. Have a deeper breath in. Just pull that blanket so it's under your head and your neck, so it will touch the top of the shoulders there. And then pull your right foot a little bit closer towards your head, keeping that left thigh pressing down, keeping that right thigh pressing back. Hold the belt so your hands are apart. Keep the backs of the knees opening. Now hold on to the belt with your right hand and take the right leg over to the right. And you can bring your right elbow down to the floor in line with the shoulder. So just hold the belt with the right hand. Yeah. And just see if your left waist is lifting. So see if you can, don't bring your leg so far to the right. You can bring it up a little bit. Otherwise, you can put some support outside that right hip. Yes. If there's room, stretch out your left arm alongside your body with your left palm upwards. See how it feels. And see if you can bring your right foot up a little bit towards the shoulders and just lengthen that inner right leg and draw the outer right leg back into the hip socket. And roll your abdomen from right to left. Come back to the center, hold the belt with your left hand. Inhale, and then exhale, take that right leg over to the left side just a little bit, keeping your left toes upwards, keeping your outer right hip down, pushing into that belt with that inner right foot. See how it feels. See if you can maneuver the right foot up a little bit towards your left shoulder and maneuver the right hip down away from the right shoulder. Roll the abdomen back to the right. Keep the back of the neck long, base soft. Keep the neck straight. That's it. Good. And then come back to the center and release that right leg. Put your belt on the other side, or your block or your bolster if you're using it on that other side. And then belt your left foot. That's it. So focus first on that right leg, press it down and lengthen it. Press that left big toe mound up, push the left thigh back. The back of the neck long. Now inhale, as you exhale, bring your left foot up towards your head. Keeping the right leg pressing down, keeping the left leg pressing back. So I've been practicing yoga pretty much daily for like 23 years now. Started heavily in 2000. I was practicing a little bit before that, but every single day, most every day, I do these poses. They really help me, and I know that they'll help you as well. So even if you don't come to class, maybe just do this series of poses at home. It's a great way to start your home practice. Hold on to the belt with your left hand, and then bring that left leg over to the left. Without tipping over. So if you find that your right waist is coming up, just add some support. You can bring your left elbow down in line with your left shoulder, or you can keep that left elbow up if you're feeling confident. But try not to have it in between. Either have the elbow all the way down or all the way up. See how it feels. See if you can pull your left foot upwards a little bit towards the left shoulder. Yes. And just open up that inner left leg from the groin to the inner foot. And draw the outer left leg back. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Extend that leg outwards. Good. And then come back to the center. Hold the belt with your right hand. Inhale, and then exhale. Take that left leg over. Keep rolling that inner right leg down, pushing into the belt with that inner left foot. If you feel a lot of intensity, back off. If it's feeling pretty good, you can come a little bit further over, but as long as you're keeping your right leg in Tadasana. So don't let your right leg roll out, Moru. Your right leg stays stable. It's kind of like a break, right? And then see if you can maneuver the left foot upwards towards your right shoulder, and maneuver the left hip downwards away from the left shoulder, and roll your abdomen to the left. And just have some softer, smoother breaths in and out. That looks good tomorrow. Keep reaching through into the belt with that left inner foot. Good, and now come back to the center and release that leg. Now raise your arms upwards, join your legs together if possible, and lock your thumbs above you. Have your palms upwards. And just reach your feet away from your hands, cross your thumbs and pull on your thumbs until your arms squeeze into the head, unless you have shoulder sensitivity. Have your toes go upwards, feet together, reach through those inner legs to the inner feet, press the thighs down, lift the abdomen up, switch the cross of the thumbs, get longer, and then bring your arms back alongside your body. Okay, good, and then come and watch. We're gonna do a twist. So watch what I do. So grab your bolster, and some of you might even need another blanket. So watch what I do. I just lie down on one side. I'll turn this camera down. I lie down on one side facing the bolster. And then I bring this leg up. And like I said, some of you might need more height here, okay? And see how the knee is a little bit above my hip? And then I just put my hand here, and then I turn. And you want to get this shoulder down to the floor. So if the shoulder is up, you might have to put some more height here to get that shoulder all the way down, and then stretch this arm out to the side. So it's called a supine Marichiasana. Some of you might know the twist we do in seated pose, Marichiasana. Okay, so let's try that. So have the bolster. As you lie down on your left side, have the bolster in front of you. Lie down on your left side. And this is an actual pose. It's called Anantasana. We're not doing that today, but this is an actual pose, right? Some of you might have seen like a reclining Buddha. That's similar to this pose. And then bring your right knee up. Bring your right knee up onto the bolster, a little bit higher than your hips. Yes. And make sure that your foot is on the bolster as well. Your foot and your ankle and your knee, they're all on the bolster. Yes. Make sure that your left leg is straight, and your left ankle and your left hip and your left shoulder are all in a straight line. Good. Now put your left hand on your top right knee. And then lift your chest and then turn and get your right shoulder all the way to the floor. If it doesn't come to the floor, see if you can turn a little bit more. And if it still doesn't come to the floor, then you have to put more height. You have to put some more height, some blankets or something under that right knee. That's it. So keep lifting. Don't turn your head though. Make sure that your foot and your right knee are all supported by that bolster. Turn your abdomen. Make sure that your bottom leg is straight. Bottom leg is active. Yes. Roll the abdomen. Yes. Get that right shoulder down without turning the head, without turning the neck. Good. Okay, and now just stay there. Look to the left, and turn more. That's it. Look, that's it. Turn away. And then once you've turned to your maximum, now you can turn your head back to the ceiling. Turn your head back to the ceiling. That's it. So turn your body first. Get into that habit of turning the body before you turn the neck, and then release. Good. And then let's come back up and then put your prop on the other side. So lie down on your right side with the bolster in front of you. Pretty close. And then make sure that you're on a straight line. Your right ankle, your right knee, your right hip. That's it, Ethan. And then bring your left knee up onto that bolster, a little bit higher than your hips. Make sure that your knee is supported. Your ankle and your foot are all supported. Put your right hand on your top knee. See if you can bring your knee higher than your hip, your left knee higher than your hip, higher. That's it. Put your right hand on your top knee. Some of you might sleep this way. If you're like me and you're a side sleeper, right? You might sleep this way, right? And then lift your chest upwards and then turn. Yes. No, that foot is down. You're on the little toe side of the right foot, outer right knee, outer right hip. Yeah, that's it. Turn your waist. Turn your ribs. Yes, turn everything. Good. And now look to the right. Look to the right. Let your head turn towards the knee that's bent. And turn more. Turn more. Hold that knee down. Make sure that your knee is higher than your hip. Turn more. Turn your abdomen. Turn your ribs. And then keep more of that turn and just look straight up at the ceiling now. That's the way. So supine, Marichyasana. Nice. Okay, now come back to the center and release. This is one of the reasons they tell you not to eat before yoga, right? If you had a big, you should, just have something light or just eat like 2 hours before yoga, especially if you're doing twistings. So now you can put your bolster on the left-hand side, put the bolster back on that left-hand side. Some of you will use it, some of you won't, because we're going to do that same pose. Watch what I do. I just bring my arms out. I shift my hips to the right or in one direction, and I bring my knees over to the left. Now, some of you can still use that bolster. If this shoulder is coming up, you can use that bolster under the shins and the knees like you just did. But now both knees are bent. Okay, so be on your back, bring your arms out to the sides, shoulder height. Press your feet down and then lift up your hips and shift your hips away from the bolster. Shift your hips away from the bolster on the floor. First, shift the hips and then bring both of your knees up and over to that bolster. So now it becomes a different pose. And then bring your knees higher than your hips. And some of you can bring your knees and your feet to the floor. That's fine. So make sure that your knees are to the left, your hips are back to the right. That's it. There you go. Now put your left hand on your top knee. Make sure that those knees are down. Make sure that your right shoulder is down. So flex your feet. And make sure that the top knee is right on top of the bottom knee. That's it. Now look towards your knees. Just turn your head. Turn your head. You can rest it on the floor. But turn your abdomen more to the right. Turn the abdomen. Turn the ribs more. Get that right shoulder all the way down. Turn. Get your knees higher than your hips, Ethan, and put your left hand on your top knee. Left hand on the top knee. Left hand, bring your knees up and bring your knees to the floor, or put something under there. Now you can look back at the ceiling. Yes, but keep that turn. Yes, and then release. Super good. If you're using the prop, move it to the other side. And then press your feet down, shift your hips to the left side and bring your knees over to the right side, onto the bolster or onto the floor. Yes, bring your knees higher than your hips. Draw your toes up towards your knees. Make sure that your knees are together. If they're not together, you can also put something in between the knees, right? Like a folded blanket. Good, now put your right hand on your top knee. Give it some weight. Lift your chest way upwards, lift. And now turn your abdomen, turn your ribs. That's it, roll the abdomen. And now look towards your knees and turn more. Turn the abdomen, roll. That's the name of the pose, the stomach rolling pose. So turn, that's it. Make sure that your feet are flexed, Katie. Feet are flexed, yes. Now look straight up at the ceiling again, but keep that turn. Nice. And then release. Good, now some of you are going to be repeating that. Watch what I do now. Some of you do this, watch. So now I'm here, I do the same thing. I shift my hips, but when I bring my knees up, I'm hovering my legs. I'm not bringing my legs to the floor, I'm hovering. See how my feet are flexed and I'm still turning the abdomen, turning the ribs. And for this one, we don't turn the head. And then you'll do the other side. You'll come up and you'll hover the legs. Now you'll feel it much more in your parts of your abdomen, the sides of the abdomen, which are called the obliques. Otherwise, you'll do the passive version again. If that's too much for you, you'll do the passive version with support, either the floor or the bolster. So if you're going to use the support, put the support on the first side, bring your arms out to the side, shift your hips to the right, and bring your knees to the left. Bring your knees to the left. And some of you are now hovering. You're hovering your knees above the floor. If that feels too much, or if your right shoulder is coming way up, use the support or bring your legs to the floor. Draw your knees higher than your hips. Doesn't have to be a lot, but a little bit higher. Draw your toes up to the knees. Inhale, keep your neck straight. That's it, palms are upwards, palms are upwards. Now roll your abdomen from the left to the right. Roll that abdomen without turning your head. Feel the abdomen rolling. Press your left arm down into the floor and reach your right arm away from your chest to get more turn. Good, now come back to the center. That's it. Press your feet down, shift your hips to the left, and bring your knees over to the right. And maybe you're using the support again. The knees have to be together, so put something in between the knees if they're apart. They have to be together. Bring your knees up higher than your hips. Draw your toes up towards your knees. Palms are upwards. Bring your arms in line with your shoulders. And now roll your abdomen from the right side to the left side, keeping your neck straight. Roll. That's it. And then press your right arm down. Yes, and reach your left arm out. So your chest doesn't turn. Your chest is stable to the ceiling. It's just turning the abdomen. Nice. And then come back to the center. Beautiful, you guys. Press your feet down, center your pelvis. Keep your feet together, but let your knees open out to the sides. Baddha Konasana. That's it. Bring your feet as close to the pelvis as you can. And raise your arms up again alongside your ears. Yes, raise your arms up. And just have your palms upwards. If there's no room, you can just hold your elbows. And just press your feet into each other, spread those inner groins, soften the abdomen. That's it, and lengthen from your hips back to your hands. Good. And then bring your arms back alongside your body and bring your legs back together. Good, and then roll to the side and come back onto the hands and the knees. Now we're gonna do some lunges like this tomorrow, so I'm not quite sure. Some of you might want to use a blanket. We're going to do this pose. So from the hands and the knees, and some of you will have some blocks. We're just going to do one lunge to open up the front groin. So I just bring this right foot forwards and I lift this leg up and I walk this foot further back. So you don't want your foot like this. Can you see how my heel is further back? Walk your toes back. And you're trying to get this hip in line with this knee, and this thigh is lifting, and I'm looking forwards. Let me know if you can do that tomorrow. Can you do that or no? You can't do that? Okay, so you can just take child's pose. Just take child's pose. Be in child's pose while we do these lunges. That's it. You can move the blocks lower, Tom. So the blocks, I had my blocks at the medium level because you want your chest pretty close to your thigh. Some of you can even be on your fingertips on the floor. Maybe you don't even need blocks. You have to kind of see what you need. So bring the right leg forward and the left leg is back. You could have lower blocks also, Sandy. Have lower blocks, lower, lower, lower. Yes, don't let your chest be really above your right thigh. Get your chest close to the right thigh. Yes, there you go. There you go, straighten the back leg. So walk your left toes backwards like you saw me do. Walk your left toes backwards, Mary, so that your left toes are under the heel. Yeah, the heel is not further back than the toes. Now bring your heel, there you go. Now reach your left heel backwards and your breastbone forwards. Get that length to come on the front of that left hip. Does anyone feel a stretch there? On the front of that left hip, good. Now switch. And then tomorrow you can do child's pose with your knees together. Have your knees together. Bring your left leg forward and your right leg back. I do this one every day as well. I do quite several lunges to open up the hip flexors. If you open up your hip flexors and you open up your hamstrings on a daily basis, your back is going to have a smiley face, a smiley emoji. Get your left knee right over the ankle. Make sure that your back leg is straight. Some of your back legs are bending. Move your left toes backwards. Yes, left toes backwards. Get the left knee right over the ankle. Now, as if you're pushing your right heel into a wall, push the right heel backwards and the breastbone forwards. Look forwards, look forwards. Nice. Okay, and then release that. Good, just for a moment, look at my t-shirt here. Do you see the t-shirt? What pose are they doing? This is Gita and this is Gita and BKS Iyengar side by side. What are they doing? What pose? Hanumanasana, right? Well, that pose you just did is the beginning of this pose. So next week, this pose, right? Downward dog, downward dog. Let's do downward dog. And just see if your downward dog feels any different after the work that we did with the belt, Supta Padangustasana, the twistings, the supine twistings, and then the lunges. So connect your arms to your shoulder blades or observe the connection because they're already connected. And then reach from your shoulder blades into the hands. Can you straighten your legs, Ethan? Straighten the legs fully. Take a longer dog. Take a longer dog. Pull the legs up, move the thighs back. Push the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Good, now come down onto the knees. And then we'll stand up for Uttanasana. So have your feet as wide as your mat. This way, you guys can still face the exit. I'm going to turn this way and have your blocks here. So some of you will have high blocks. Some of you will have lower blocks. And some of you will stay here. Some of you will walk your hands forwards this way if you have back sensitivity. Some of you can bring your hands out to the sides and take the head down. Okay, but let's everybody start here. Concave back. So take your feet as wide as your mat. Have the blocks right under the shoulders. Look upwards. Ardha Uttanasana. Yeah, that's it. Make sure that your hips are right over the ankles. Good. Now, those of you with back sensitivity, bone density concerns, walk the blocks all the way forwards without letting your hips go forwards or backwards. Those of you without those concerns, take your hands out to the sides, bend your elbows and bring your head down. And you probably can lower the blocks or lose the blocks. Yes, take the blocks wider than your feet. That's it. So either the blocks are forwards or they're wider, but straighten the legs. This is a straight leg pose. That's it. Keep your hips right over the ankles. Bend your elbows out to the sides if your head is down. Keep your head right in between your arms if your hands are forward. There you go. Straighten the legs fully. Open up the backs of the knees. Either flow forwards or flow down, depending on which variation you're doing. Now bring your hands onto the hips, reach the chest forwards, and come up. Good, turn towards the orange wall. Stand in Tadasana. And then some of you will need your belt. Not sure why that's going that way. So get your belt and just have your belt over your shoulder. The left shoulder. Have it over that left shoulder. So just bring your feet together in Tadasana and then take your heels apart and take your toes apart. So you're in Tadasana with the feet apart. Good. Okay, now once you have this position, bring your right arm out to the side, internally rotate the arm. Bring your arm here. Some of you will stay here if you have shoulder sensitivity. Others of you, use your left hand and get your hand up your back without shortening this right side. Get it up and then raise this left arm upwards. Remember the first work we did, turning the wrist from the upper arm. So turn that upper arm and then hold on. And otherwise you're holding onto this belt and you might be even here. That's fine. So pull the belt apart, keep your neck straight. Don't let your neck turn. Keep this elbow really close to the head. So this outer left armpit is rolling forward. Pull on the belt. Yes, keep this right shoulder moving back. Maybe you can get another finger. Maybe you can get a little bit more belt. Pull the belt or the fingers apart and move the shoulder blades into the back, keeping your neck soft. Good, and now release. Put your belt on the other shoulder. And then bring this left arm out to the side. Turn the palm backwards. Bring your hand to the back. Maybe you're staying low. Otherwise, use your right hand to get this left arm up your back, all the way up. And then you can raise this right arm up, roll the outer armpit forwards, and then hold. Hold the fingers or hold the belt. That's good, Ragnold, yes. Keep this elbow really close to your head, Katie, this arm. Don't let it go out here. Yeah. Settle back into your heels, move the buttocks down, lift a little bit more through that left side. It tends to shrink, doesn't it? And then roll that left shoulder back, reach the right elbow upwards. Can you get another finger? Can you get another fingertip, I should say, or a little bit more belt? Pull that apart, move the shoulder blades into the back. Nice. And now release. You can let go of your belt, bring your feet back together, bring your hands to the center of your chest. Bring your arms out to the sides and then take your legs apart. If anyone wants to jump, I don't mind. So bring your feet all the way out under the hands. Now turn your right leg out from the top of the thigh. Turn the left foot in slightly. And then reach over. That's it. Lift your chest, roll your left ribs back. Bring your right hand down to your leg. Keep your head lifting away from your chest. That's it. Good. And then reach up with your left arm and up you come out of the pose. That's it. We're going to do that same side. So just stay there. Have a heel to arch alignment. Some of you can go a little bit wider. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, reach over. Roll your top left ribs back. Bring your tailbone forwards. Bring your hand down and bring your left hand onto the hip. That's it. And look straight forwards. Look straight forwards. Straighten your legs. Absorb that right buttocks under you. Roll your left ribs and your left shoulder back. And see if you can turn your abdomen up towards the ceiling. Turn. Look down towards the floor. Look down towards the floor, but turn your abdomen up towards the ceiling. Left hand is on the hip. Turn your abdomen. Turn your ribs. Yes. Now, keep that turn and look forwards towards the orange wall. Look forwards. That's it. And then maybe lift your chin and maybe look upwards. And then take your arm up. So the head is the very last thing. It's not the first thing. It's the last thing. Good. Now reach up with your left arm and come up out of the pose. Turn your right toes forwards. Bring your hands to the hips. Deepen your breath. Utthita Trikonasana. Raise your arms shoulder height. If anyone needs support, if you need to use a block under your hand, of course, even if I don't say it, please take that support that you need. So turn your left leg out, turn your right foot in. Have a heel to arch alignment of your feet. Yeah, that's good, Katie. And reach overwards to the top of that chair. So lift your chest and then just reach over, roll the right ribs back, bring your left hand down, Just look straight forwards. Just kind of see how it feels. Pull your head away from your chest, tailbone forwards. Now reach up with that right arm and up you come. Stay there. Inhale. You can always refresh your arms. That's always fine. Don't worry. They're really just too heavy. Sandy, see if you can go a little bit wider. Now inhale. As you exhale, reach over, bring that left hand down. Now bring your right hand onto the hip and look down at your left big toe and press it down. Look down. Yes. Now as you look down at your left big toe, look down at your left big toe. That's it. But as you look down, can you turn your abdomen up towards the ceiling? Can you roll your right shoulder back? Can you roll your right ribs back? Turn the torso. Get the left buttocks way under you. Now look straight forwards towards the orange wall. Lift your chin, and only if your neck is up for it, you can start to look upwards, and then take that top arm up. Take that top arm up. That's it. So have your left hand on the back of the chair, the top of the back of the chair, Katie, this way. So you're going to keep that length on that left side. That's the way. Good. Now reach up with your right arm and up you come out of the pose. Turn the left toes forwards. Bring your legs and your arms back together and stand in Tadasana. That's it. So what we see as teachers is we see when we work on learning to turn, we see everybody's eyes turn. You see everybody's eyes turn. The eyes turn the quickest, right? Based upon evolution, right? We learned to survive by looking around. And then the head turns. But you see the head is turning, the eyes are turning, but you don't see much else turning. So first we have to turn everything else, which is harder to turn. The abdomen, the ribs, it's harder to turn that area. It's easier to turn the neck and the eyes. So sometimes it's good to turn that last. Let's do Parsvakonasana. A lot of you will need some blocks. So have some blocks on either side of your mat on the heel side. And stand in Tadasana. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Bring your arms out to the side. Step your left foot out and then step your right foot out. Bring your feet all the way out under the hands there. Turn your right leg out from the top of the thigh. Turn that left foot in. Bend your front knee. Get your knee right over the ankle. And then reach over. Roll these left ribs back. Bring your right forearm down. Bring your left hand onto the hip. Good. Make sure that you look at your right knee now. Is it right over your ankle? Look at your right kneecap. Is it right over the middle of the foot? Yes. Now some of you can bring your right hand down to your block and then move your right knee back into your arm. Push the knee into the arm. Now keep looking down, but turn your abdomen up to the ceiling. Turn. And doesn't your head want to turn? Turn your abdomen. Roll that left shoulder back. Turn the abdomen. Turn these left ribs back. Now look straight forwards. Look straight forwards. Stretch your left arm backwards. And then bring this arm up alongside your ear. And then only if your neck is up for it, lift your chin and look up under your left underarm. The arm is behind the head. Nice, you guys. Lift up this left arm and up you come out of the pose. Turn your right toes forwards. Bring your hands to your hips. Have some deeper breaths in and out. Good. Everybody's getting into condition, right? Good. Bring your arms out to the sides. Turn your left leg out from the top of the thigh. Turn the right foot in. And remember, Katie, when you come in here, just reach towards the chair again. You can reach towards the chair. That's for Katie only. Everybody else, inhale. As you exhale, bend this left knee. Go down. Reach over. Bring your left forearm here. Bring your right hand onto the hip. That's it. Keep your back leg straight. Now look down at your left knee. Is it right over your ankle? Is the kneecap going over the middle of the foot? Some of you stay here. Others of you bring your hand down to the block. And then move the left knee back into the arm. Now keep looking down, but turn your abdomen up. Roll the right ribs back. Get the right shoulder back. That's it. Now keep that. Now look straight forwards. Bring your right arm back. No, straight forwards towards the orange wall. Reach the right arm backwards and then sweep this arm up. The arm goes behind your head. Only if your neck is feeling up for it. Lift your chin and then look upwards under your right underarm. Straighten that top arm, Mary. Everybody straighten the arm. Remember the arm in the belt. Yes, now lift up your right arm and up you come. Turn your left toes forwards. Bring your hands to the chest, step your left, and then your right leg in. Very good. You guys turn towards the exit. Have your feet either as wide as the mat or as wide as your hips. And then take that position again. Either your hands are out here or your hands are forwards. One of those two positions that we did earlier. If you have any doubt, just take your feet as wide as the mat. So have your feet as wide as the mat, have the heels in line with the mat. There you go. And either your hands are out to the sides in line with your shoulders, otherwise your hands are forwards. Have some softer, smoother breaths in and out. That's it. Now, if your hands are out to the sides, you can also hold your elbows. You can also hold your elbows if that feels good to you. Yes, but make sure that your legs are straight. Legs are straight. Switch the cross of the elbows and move the elbows towards the back of the head. Good. And now bring your hands onto your hips, reach the chest forwards, and up you come. Good. Now come and get a chair. Okay, so you'll have your chair on your mat. I'll show with Gallias this way. It's going to look like this. So see, I have the back legs of the chair on the sticky mat. The back of the chair is going towards the orange wall. So those of you at home, I have the back of the chair as I'm turning towards the chair. The back of the chair is on my right-hand side. The seat of the chair is going outwards. Okay, so watch what I do. Just watch first. So I step this right leg forwards. I step this left leg back. And I have this hand on the chair. And I raise this arm up. And then I come down and I bring this hand onto the seat of the chair. And it's a turn. So I'm turning. This is called Parivrita Trikonasana. So there's Uttita Trikonasana and there's Parivrita Trikonasana. Okay, so make sure that your legs are straight. Make sure that your hips are even and they're stable. Lift your chest and then turn. Turn your abdomen, turn your ribs. Okay, so get ready. So stand a little bit back away from your chair. Step your right foot forward and step your left leg back about 4.5 feet. And you have a heel to heel alignment. If you feel wobbly in your balance, take your feet wider apart widthwise. Keep your right hand on the chair. The right hand is on the back of the chair. Lift up your left arm. Lift it upwards. Inhale, and then start to come forwards and bring your left hand onto the seat of the chair. Your left hand will come down onto the seat of the chair. Yes. Good. You can just grab hold of it like this. Let's get your stability. The first thing is stability. Straighten your legs. Take a shorter distance. Straighten your legs. Your left arm is straight. Left arm is straight. So turn, hold on to the back of the chair. Get your fingers under the back of the chair. That's it. So you can turn that arm outwards. Now, get your legs straight. That's the first thing. Hug your hips in. Now roll your right shoulder back. Push down into the chair with your right hand. And there you go, Marcia. And roll that right shoulder back. Keep your head in line with your tailbone. Roll the right shoulder back. Roll it back. Roll it back. And turn your abdomen. Turn your ribs. All of that work that we did, turn. Good. Now get your stability. Press down through your feet. Reach your left arm forwards. Reach your left arm forwards. And then windmill. Reach your left arm up and roll it around and you windmill your arms up. That's it. So let me just demonstrate that for the other side. So once I'm here, and also look how I have my hand on the chair. It's not like this, it's like this. I have my hand on the chair this way. And then once I come up, I reach this arm forwards and I windmill up. Move your chair to the other side. So slide it to the other side. And now you're standing with the chair on the left-hand side. No, it stays on the same side. It just goes from here to here. Nothing changes. I just slide the chair over. That's it. Now stand facing the chair. Bring your left leg forward. Step your right leg back. And have your left hand on the chair. Left hand is on the back of the chair. Good. And you have a heel to heel alignment. Otherwise, you can take your feet a little bit wider. Now raise your right arm upwards. Get your legs straight. Inhale. Come forwards and bring your right hand onto the back of the chair seat. Yes, and straighten that right arm. The right arm is straight. Good, Katie. That's it. Straighten your legs. Firm your hips in. Firm your hips in. That's it. Hug those hips. Now, once you have that, press your left hand into the back of the chair, left hand into the back of the chair, and turn. Turn towards the chair. Yes, turn. There you go. It's a turning. Turn your abdomen, turn your ribs. Lift that left elbow up. Turn the abdomen, turn the ribs. Yes. See if you can turn the abdomen and the ribs more. Everyone's good. Now get your stability. And by pressing your feet down, reach your right arm forwards and now windmill the arms up. Windmill the arms up. Excellent. You got it. And then release. Very good. Now we'll do it one more time on the other side. But now watch. Some of you, watch what I do. It's going to be hard to see. Trying to figure out how I can show this. Some of you, well, I'll show it this way. So once I'm here, some of you can repeat here, but some of you can go lower. You can bring your hand down to this crossbar. So maybe here or maybe here. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Last time. If you don't have that, just go, this kind of chair. So stand, bring the chair back to that first position, step your right leg forward, step your left leg back. You could go longer there, Slava. Have your feet 4.5 feet apart, straighten your legs, firm your hips towards each other, raise your left arm up, inhale, and then come forwards and bring your left hand down to the chair seat. Or maybe if you have a crossbar, go down to the crossbar. Straighten your legs, straighten the legs. Turn your hand, so the arm turns out. There you go, good. Firm your hips in. Now push your right hand into the chair and roll the abdomen up to the ceiling. Roll your right shoulder back. Yes, move the left ribs down. Pull your head away from the chest. Good, now get your stability. Reach your left arm forwards and windmill your arms up out of the pose. Well done, everybody. You're doing Parivrita Trikonasana. How does it feel? Is it okay? Yes, yeah, you're doing a nice, good pose. Last time, second side. Don't you love the chair? Isn't it great? Who knew that a steel chair, a simple steel chair, that was such a hideous thing when you had to sit in these, right? At church or another gathering, right? You sit in this, it's nice. So bring your left leg forwards and then step your right leg back. There you go. Have a heel to heel alignment, otherwise go wider. Good, firm your hips in. Raise your right arm up, inhale, and then exhale, come forwards, and maybe bring your hand to the chair seat or the crossbar if you have one. Straighten your legs, firm your hips, lift your chest. Now push into the chair with your left hand and turn. Turn the abdomen like we did on the back. Nice, Sylvia, straighten those legs. Get your left shoulder over your right shoulder, turn. You might even feel like you're getting a chiropractic adjustment. Some of you will feel that. That's it. Now, turn more, get that left shoulder back, turn. Now press your feet down, reach your right arm forwards and windmill your arms up out of the pose. Very, very good. Okay, and then bring your arms and your legs back together. You can move the chair to the side. Just have your heels in line with the back edge of the mat. Take your feet really wide apart. Have your heels wider than your toes. Lift your chest, come down, bring your hands onto the floor or use blocks if you need to. Use blocks, lift your chest and then walk your hands forward for Prasarita Padottanasana. That's it, walk your hands forward. If this feels too much for anybody, you could also use a chair, right? You could have your hands on the chair this way. Make sure that when you come forward with your hands that you're not coming forward with your hips. Keep your hips right over those ankles and spread those legs. Marsh, can you take your legs wider? And then shift your right hip towards the left hip. Even more, shift that right. Yeah, of course it is, but that's even. Can you maintain that? Right hip in towards, that's good. Now you've got it. Spread the legs away from each other. See if you can walk your hands further forward, Maru and Mary. Good, now walk your hands back under the shoulders. Bring your feet closer together. Bring your hands onto your hips and up you come. Great. Okay, now if you do chair shoulder stand, go for chair shoulder stand. You'll have your chair on this side. Get an extra sticky mat from the closet or from one of the other setups. Have a blanket this way. Do you want to try it today? Did you get your chair standing? Do you want to try it today or no? Okay. I'll give you a different pose to do. Otherwise, if you're doing a chair shoulder stand, it looks this way. The only thing I don't have here is an extra sticky mat. You would need an extra sticky mat on the chair there. Make sure it's folded nice and neatly. Now, those of you not doing that today, you'll have your bolster. And maybe a folded blanket on top of the bolster. And you're going to be coming into Setu Bandha. So have your chair the other side there, Maria. Have your chair away from the exit. Yeah, just so everyone's going that same direction. So those of you not doing the chair shoulder stand, come into this pose, have the bolster and the blanket is optional under the pelvis, and then stretch out the legs and stretch out the arms. So you'll be doing Setu Bandha. Those of you on the chair, go down and have your legs over the back of the chair. Straighten your legs over the back of the chair. Yeah, that's perfect. Good. There you go. Great. I'll give you one more blanket there. Let's fold it this way. I'll show you. So just open them like a big trifold, like one, just so it stays basically the size of that bolster. Try that. Good. Sure. So start to go down. Bring those shoulders down. Wonderful. What's that? Why is that? Okay, so go down again. Yeah, I think that's fine. I can move this back. Hook your legs over the back of the chair. Or you're sliding out. Okay, so slide back and just begin again. There we go. Those of you on the floor, just stretch out your legs. Okay, try one more. I'll help you in 1 second, Ethan. Now, those of you on the chair, bring your feet onto the back of the chair. You got it? Great. And then lift your legs straight up. So hold on for a second, come up, because your chair is too far. That's the reason. The chair has to be, just put the chair on top of the blanket a little bit. That's it, like that. Now you're perfect. Now bring your legs over. Bring your arms inside and hold on to the back legs of the chair. There you go. And then just bring your feet, that's it. You can start this way. That's good. Slava, bring your legs more towards the back of the chair. Straighten those legs, Maru. The legs are straight. If you're on the bolster on the floor, roll the thighs in. That's it. Good. Bring your chin a little bit more towards the chest there, Mary. There you go. Good for you. Good. Now bring your legs here. Bend your legs. So, and then see if you can bring your arms through the inside legs and just see if that makes any difference. Does that make any difference? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Get those outer shoulders down and now go back up. that make any difference to you? That's good. Now you can bring your feet onto the back of the chair there and lift your legs straight up. Now, those of you on the bolster on the floor, draw your knees into the chest and also lift your legs straight up. Lift your legs straight up. So everybody's up in the same position. That's it. No, just keep your hips on the chair there. Ethan, yeah, the hips are just like resting on the chair. And your legs go here. Yes, lift your chest more. And the more you lift your chest, can you see how your hips just sit on that chair? That's it. Looks good, Katie. That's it. Looks good. Tamar, it looks good. Ragnold, wow, you have an interesting bolster there. I'm not sure what that is. Soften your neck, soften your face. Now, those of you on the chair, bring your feet to the back of the chair and let your knees open out to the sides, Baddha Konasana. Those of you on the floor, bend your knees, bring your feet down to the floor, and then push the bolster under your thighs. So your hips come down to the floor. Push the bolster under your thighs and let your hips come to the floor, and bring your feet on top of the bolster, and also bring your legs into Baddha Konasana, like that. Perfect. Those of you on the floor, if you need a blanket under your head, just slip a blanket under your head and your neck. Those of you on the chair, see if you can lift up your heels a little bit and spread the inner thighs, lower the toes, and maybe you can loosen your grip on the chair. If you feel secure, relax your arms, maybe even take a different arm position. As long as you feel secure that you're not going to lose and fall down. That's good, Mary, like that. That's great. Does that feel okay? And just let yourself be there. And you're untwisting now, right? Today we worked on twistings, the fundamentals of twisting. Now you're untwisting. Yoga is all about just unwinding. Sometimes we have to challenge ourselves, and then when your shavasana is better when you've challenged yourself a little bit, many times. And then those of you on the chair, bring your hands to the front legs of the chair and start to come down. Rest your legs on the chair, rest your hips on the bolster. And then those of you who have a bolster under your hips, just take it out. Maybe rest the bolster on your abdomen against your thighs, or just move it to the side. Those of you on the floor, just stretch your legs over the bolster. Everyone can add something under the head and the neck as needed. Push away any props you don't need to touch, not right now. Make sure that you feel really comfortable. Like you could stay here, for 15 or 20 minutes. We don't have that long, but that's the feeling that you want to have. Like you could really rest. If you want to cover your eyes with a belt or with a blanket, feel free to do that. And really let loose your legs from your hips to your toes. And let loose your arms from your shoulders to your fingertips. To relax your lower molars down away from your upper molars. And really open and relax the pit of the throat. Let your eyes sink and settle back away from the surface. And draw your ears inwards. Rest your head towards your heart. Let go. Bring your fingertips onto your side ribs. Keep your elbows on the floor. Just fingertips onto the sides of your ribs. And have some deeper breaths into the sides of the ribs. And then move your bolster to the left and bring your legs carefully away from the chair and roll to your right side. And slowly come on up and sit. Bring your hands to your heart center. Raise your chest upwards and bow your head downwards. Keep turning towards the light. Keep turning towards the present moment. Keep turning towards what's really important. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy. Thank you, everybody at home.